Hello and welcome to Karnataka Janathayonthike, which means with the people of Karnataka. This is the AIDEM's special focus programs on the Karnataka elections. We are into the last phase of campaigning in the Karnataka elections. And Karnataka Janathayonthike is essentially looking at the people's issues from the people's perspective. And today we are in Mysore, the one-time capital of Karnataka, which of course has a great cultural tradition. It's a place of the great Mysore Palace and also the land of Tipu Sultan and the land of multifaceted Sufi cultures, the land of great writers, filmmakers and artists. So today at Mysore, we have two independent professionals. One is Pamela Sanath Nikam, who is a former teacher and an academic, a person who is now very actively involved in pursuing a lot of social issues of the people, and Manjunatha, a professional who has worked across diverse fields in business development, in marketing, in setting up startup ventures and things like that. So, what the AIDEM is doing in the Karnataka Janathayonthike, we let people talk their mind. There's no intervention. We just give them a broad idea as to what we are looking at from them, and they free to talk whatever they want to talk.
Hello, thank you, the AIDEM, for having us on your show today. We are in Mysore, the old capital of Karnataka. Elections always evokes an adrenaline rush to every citizen in the state, and more so this time because the aspiration of India seemed to be unaddressed in the last decade. This is going to be the first assembly elections in Karnataka for this decade. I am here with Mr. Manjunath, who is also a resident of Mysore. I am Pamela Sanath Nikam, who is also a resident of Mysore. So, Mr. Manjunath, what are the important issues in these elections according to you?
The important issues that are basically are the unemployment, the price rise, then the communal harmony, and then mainly the administration and the corruption. That also, is one of the major thing that is coming up in this election. Now, going on to, explaining a little more on this, I would say that, unemployment is a major issue which has gripped the whole country today. It is not only in Karnataka. It is not necessarily for Karnataka election alone.
Would you say it is post-COVID or pre-COVID?
It was there from the beginning. If we may say so, in the last 8 years, okay, so more than 20 during the COVID time, of course, more than 20 lakh people have lost their jobs. Okay, and it is there on official records, which says that so more than 20 lakh people have lost their jobs, and especially in Karnataka alone. I'm talking about in Karnataka. You take the any areas of work, like the core labor-oriented industries like the garment industry, like the software industry. Okay, and even the small businesses have suffered a lot, and the people Especially the small scale industries are are having a very severe problem, so they are not able to source their resources, they are not able to source their fundings, and this is one of the major
Okay.
issue. The entire the business scenario itself is suffering. It is because of, I mean, as I see it, it's mainly the GST issue which is really creating havoc in the country. So there are we might lift up a collars and say that, the I mean the GST collection has increased. Just 2 days ago, it had appeared in the paper, 1.87 lakh crore of GST has been collected in the month of March. Okay, but how is that this collection is all happening? Every nook and corner, every small bit of businesses are now covered with the thing, including the agricultural field, including the agriculture. Obviously there is going to be a much more collection that is happening, and we always make a comparison with pre-COVID and the post-COVID scenarios, but that is not the way of making an this thing.
Okay.
That's what I feel. Yes.
Now coming to when we speak about government's commitment to, let's say, let me take it a little forward and say, what about the youth? There are many graduates coming out of not professional colleges but conventional colleges. When I say conventional colleges, I'm talking about BA, BSc, BCom, all
Yes.
that. But recruitment doesn't seem to be happening as far as job creations are concerned. Many of them are going and seeking private employment in private organization. You take the case of the university education or higher education, there also there seem to be a stagnation as far as recruitment is happening. So the government really is not interested as far as the welfare measures or the proactive measures which they need to take to address the unemployment issues. That is what I feel. Now, what about, you were speaking about, you spoke about religion?
Religion, yes.
Yeah.
Yes. See, now we know that, okay, especially in Karnataka, this, I don't know whether it will be right on my part to take the individual religions. Of course, broadly speaking, the Hindu, Muslim, these things, the Christian, these words have started coming up more and more, even in the thing. Earlier, and also this kind of an open discussion was not happening. After the present regime took over, it has now become more and more vocal in every activity that we do, every meeting that we go, and every forum that we see. There is a kind of
You are identified by your
yes,
religion.
you are identified by the religion. Okay, so religion, caste, and all of that. So in Karnataka, for example, the Gauda community, they talk about more of this Veerashaiva Lingayats, and of course the Christianity. So it is in a broader sense, but the more problematic situation now that we all can see is the Hindu Muslim, the divide is becoming more and more larger, and it is becoming more and more wider.
Coming to corruption, because that seemed to have raised a very ugly head.
Yes.
And Karnataka has been named as 40% Sarkar.
Correct.
So, do you think that would make an impact in the present elections?
It should, but whether it will happen or it will not happen, that only the time will tell. Now, coming to the situation, we all know that the corruption is there for decades and decades. I think it's not a new thing, and that is one of the main topic by citing by the BJP party as such had come to power, if we may say so. We all know that So
they said we will erase corruption.
yes, we will erase corruption, and it has now it is manifolded.
Manifold.
It is now manifold.
Okay. From 10% we have
it
gone
has
up
now
to
even gone to 40%. Some people even talk about 50% also. To this extent, the problem is there in the country.
You as a voter, would you like a change in the government?
Absolutely, 200% yes. Why it's only 100%? It is definitely there has to be a change in the governance. There has to be a change in the corruption. See, look at the situation in the country today. You go to any small government office or any this thing, for the smallest of the small work, you have to pay money, you have to pay bribe, you have to
Starting
only,
from birth certificate to
yes,
death certificate.
from till the death certificate, everything is and these are the two areas what you have mentioned. There are more
From womb
corruption happening on
no,
that.
from womb to tomb.
Yes. So this is the situation. You take any topic, there is a corruption involved.
We find it very difficult to approach government offices in Karnataka. Without greasing palms, nothing seemed to move. As I spoke to you earlier, whether it is for a birth certificate or a death certificate, those are the least, the most important documents. But even there, they don't spare the people who go there. And even health welfare measures, especially during COVID, it was very difficult for people to meet, health emergencies. But there also, I have spoken to quite a few people from the lower middle class. They say there also they need to grease the palms when they go to government facilities.
Correct.
Forget private facilities, even government facilities. I think health sector has also taken a beating
Even
because
see these government facilities are delivered through the private hospitals and all of that.
yes.
So even to get the services in the private hospitals, they have to shell down some certain amount of money, percentage of money. Only then they could get these government services.
Yes, that's
Only then they could get the government schemes
Yeah,
in their thing.
other than livelihood issues, if we have to point out today, other than the two dominant communities today in Karnataka, Vokkaligas and the
Lingayats.
Lingayat community, I feel the rest of them, I personally feel, this is personally my opinion, the rest of them don't seem to find a voice in the government. That's what I feel, especially the minority and to some extent the scheduled caste and scheduled tribes. This is what I feel. Because I feel.
Yes, of course. The majority communities like Lingaites and this Gauda community, Vokkaliga community, they have the majority, and obviously they will have more say on in the government formation, in the government schemes and all of that. But it is not right to suppress the minorities like this, like what is happening now. Okay, so at least now even they are talking about why we have to give the quotas
Yes.
to these minorities, and they say that okay, so when we are giving, I mean, day before yesterday, 3 days ago, so Siddaramaiah spoke so well during
the manifesto release.
yeah, during the manifesto release. Okay, so he spoke so well. Even today, why is it necessary to uplift the minorities so that so they come onto the mainstream and they also get the equal status and the rights in everything. They are our co-citizens. They are our this thing. So why should they not be? After all, they are also the Indians. They are also the Indian citizens. So they should also get the right thing. And why it was necessary, this quota system was essential even for them, and why is it relevant even today? He spoke so well.
So I would say that probably we are agreeing. I mean, we agreed on most of the points. We are saying that we are looking for a holistic development and welfare of Karnataka in the next 1 week, because we are almost at the tail end of the electioneering.
So we only get a new government in 1 week's time, but what happens after 5 years is the question, really.
No, 5 years. I hope, I am adding a caveat to that. I hope the voters have really, applied their mind when they go to vote. What would benefit the larger society, keeping away the selfish interest of what's there on their mind, because everybody deserves a good life.
Absolutely.
Everybody deserves a decent living, whichever sections of the society they come from. They should have a fairly decent living, a life with dignity, I would say.